was a Friday. We were wrapping up a slow night on highway patrol when the call came in. Deer Patrol, Buck speaking. Slow down, Tom, slow down. What's the problem? What? You hit a deer and Southern Kentucky Collision is going to give you a free turkey? Well, that sounds like a great idea. I'm sorry you don't agree, but Southern Kentucky Collision knows that deer do a ton of damage to vehicles. Kentucky's ranked 4th in the country in number of deer collisions this time of year. A free turkey when you bring your vehicle to Southern Kentucky Collision for repair of the deer damage is a great way to turn your luck around. Well, not your luck around. Southern Kentucky's collisions respected work is well documented. So if you hit a deer, don't be a turkey. Get a turkey. Bring your vehicle to Southern Kentucky Collision. The 8th annual Hit a Deer, Get a Turkey event at Southern Kentucky Collision, Industrial Drive, Glasgow. No real deer or turkeys were harmed in the making of this commercial.
Welcome today, Kristen Haynes, a District 2 Magistrate candidate here in Barren County. Of course, you'll be on the Democratic ticket this fall for the general election. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. So we're tickled to talk to you today because, of course, this is our first time sitting down to hear from you about why you're running and what you have, of course, seen through your campaign and everything. I do want to clarify for folks, though, why you were not on the ballot in May or during the primary. Sometimes folks forget that the primary is essentially used to narrow down the pool of candidates. So you are the lone Democrat running for District 2. Of course, you'll be facing on the Republican ticket Mr. Derek Pettigo this fall. So let's talk about first, why are you getting involved in local politics, and why is this something you're encouraged to do?
Well, I never dreamed that I would be involved in politics. That's one thing I've always said. I'm not a politician, but I have 2 kids, and they're the most important thing I think that our community needs to be focusing on. They're our next generation. They're our future, and I want my kids to be able to come back home after college and have a great job, and not have to go to Nashville or Louisville or Lexington to get those jobs. Maybe that's a little selfish of me, but I think most parents want the same. And I think that we're in the position here that we should be able to provide some industries that are long-term industries, and that could be good paying jobs. So
Sure. And that seems to be a common theme among candidates this year. Particularly those, we have a lot of younger candidates running, those that do have children. Generally we see in local elections, we have folks who are either retired or who just need something to do, but we've got a lot of folks who are working their full-time jobs and wanting to add on, to their normal, if you will. And you're one of those.
yes, correct. Yes,
So let's talk about moving in that direction. What's your vision for Barren County as it pertains to your position as a magistrate?
Well, my vision, of course, I'm in the business industry. So working at Lakeside, it's a family-run business and really one of the largest small businesses that we have here in Barren County and Glasgow. I feel like I'm business-oriented. I'm business-minded. I did graduate with a BA in business administration from Murray State in 2005. So that's important to me. Industries that are going to stay, that can put back into the community. I think that our infrastructure, we need to, it needs to be better. Now, I do know that we have recently bought some equipment that I understand to help, with the paving of roads and stuff. And that's great. And I know that we have some funding, some grant money that's come in. So I think that, our infrastructure is going to start improving along the way. But one of the things that I kind of want to implement when I get in, if I get in, would be like a 4-year plan on roads.
Okay.
all the magistrates can get together and go travel their roads, and then assess those roads from the worst, to the better options. But that's what I really want to plan on, because we have to have a good infrastructure in order to get new industries.
Right.
So
I know, speaking to candidates this year, I've learned a little bit about how people perceive the job of a magistrate. One of those is simply roads. A lot of folks, especially our older folks, they think of the magistrate as the person who takes care of those county roads. And that is a part of the job.
Right.
But that role has really developed into much larger. Now that we're looking at economic development, industry recruitment, retainment, all these sorts of things going into the same job, it's really a big duty to fulfill.
yes.
In your job as a magistrate for District 2, what are some of the things that your district specifically could benefit from if you were their representative?
For instance, like I said, the infrastructure. I know that there's a lot of roadways in our district that need to be improved. I also think, of course, in our district, we've got the lake and we got the state park. And I think that the Friends of Barren River Lake are doing a great job in promoting that. They're like the Beach Fest. I think that was great. I know that the last Beach Fest that I went to, there were people from other states there, that came in, brought their boats, and they were, docked out in the water and enjoying the bands and all of the food trucks. I think it's great. I think we should be able to grow that a little bit, to bring in some more income, whether we have more vendors, like, not just food trucks, but other vendors, candles, whatever your thing is, I think that we could do that. As far as what I can bring to my district, I'm a good listener. And I think that for the ones holding the seats, there should be transparency. Everybody has ideas, and everybody's ideas are great. Maybe your idea is better than my idea, but if we can talk it out, put them together, we'll come up with this great idea. So, as far as that, I'm a good listener. I want to see our community, our town grow. That's one of my main things. Do we necessarily need to be Bowling Green? Absolutely not. But we need to keep our people here and working. We're losing money. End of story. We're what they call the bedroom community, where people go to Bowling Green to work and they come here to their house to sleep. So I think that we need to start with bringing good paying industries here.
It was a Friday. We were wrapping up a slow night on highway patrol when the call came in. Deer Patrol, Buck speaking. Slow down, Tom, slow down. What's the problem? What? You hit a deer and Southern Kentucky Collision is going to give you a free turkey? Well, that sounds like a great idea. I'm sorry you don't agree, but Southern Kentucky Collision knows that deer do a ton of damage to vehicles. Kentucky's ranked 4th in the country in number of deer collisions this time of year. A free turkey when you bring your vehicle to Southern Kentucky Collision for repair of the deer damage is a great way to turn your luck around. Well, not your luck around. Southern Kentucky's Collision's respected work is well documented. So if you hit a deer, don't be a turkey. Get a turkey. Bring your vehicle to Southern Kentucky Collision. The 8th annual Hit a Deer, Get a Turkey event at Southern Kentucky Collision, Industrial Drive, Glasgow. No real deer or turkeys were harmed in the making of this commercial.
As a business person, of course, there's this huge element of working with a number of people from different backgrounds, particularly in your industry. I imagine you're working with a little bit of everyone. So let's talk about unifying government locally. I know it's not one person's job to do that. One person can't do that. But what ideas do you have to unify government locally? Even when we can't get along on the basis of what we think, there's still this basis of we need to get along to be productive for the county as a whole.
So first of all, I feel like I want to represent our people. Like I said, I'm a good listener. I want to be available for anyone to come and talk to me. And I want that to come across. Whatever you're needing, come to me. I'm going to listen. I'm going to try. I will promise I will try. And I'll get back with you. I think sometimes we fail to get back. Like we try to do things, but we don't do the follow-up. And that's what I've kind of come across when I've been knocking on doors. I've told so-and-so that I need this done. Well, when I call and ask, like, what's going on here? What have we done? Well, we can't do anything because of this and this and this. So I think that maybe following up was, a lack of communication there.
Of course, right now, as it goes, the fiscal court is, of course, male-dominated all the way across. The only ladies that sit on the bench, if you will, are the county secretary, or Sherry Jones, and then the treasurer there. So you are coming into this with the expectation, of course, of winning, and you would be one of the ladies that would be on that court. Do you perceive, or have you encountered any sort of resistance to that, or do you perceive?
I have a little bit, but you know what? I work in an all-male industry, and I'm used to it. I think that the people who do work for us would tell you that I'm a great leader, and it doesn't bother me. Like I have a strong backbone. I mean, I stand up for what I believe in, and that's. I'm a fighter as well. Like, I will fight if I know that something needs to be done and make it happen.
Of course, there's one question that many folks want to ask every candidate that's running, and that is the integral. Let me restart.
Okay.
I sometimes mess up myself. Of course, there's one question that many folks want to ask every candidate that's running, and that's, why should I vote for you? So if you had to tell someone, why should I vote for Kristen Haynes for District 2 Magistrate this fall?
As your magistrate, I'm going to work hard for you. I'm going to listen to all of your problems and take them to the court and try to represent you in every possible way that I can. I'm going to follow up with you and make sure that we're all on the same page. And if I can't get something done, then we'll revisit it again. I want our community, most importantly, to prosper and grow. And I think at the end of the day, everybody wants that. Everybody wants the same. But I'm going to be committed to our community, and I'm going to be dedicated to the progress.
Is there anything else that you'd like to mention today that I maybe didn't touch on or ask you?
Well, there is one.
Okay.
There has been one woman magistrate for our area, which was Chrissy Cofields. So, like, if elected, I would be the second. So it's kind of history, but making history.
Sure. And
so
of course, we have had a female county judge, of course, too.
And yes, and Davy Gurr, yeah.
Right. So, but like you said, still unique to our fiscal court.
And I think that I can bring a different perspective.
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you for coming in today. Again, we've been speaking today with Kristen Haynes, District 2 Magistrate candidate here on the Democratic side of things, and you'll be on the ballot there on November 8th for folks to mark their ballots, or of course, if they do early voting or absentee, be a little bit before that. But nonetheless, you're there on the ballot seeking that position, one of 7 magistrates. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your vote.